Good morning. I'm so happy it is Monday. Mondays keep me very, very excited. It's beautiful day for me, Monday, because a lot to do and a lot of energy after the weekend. Weekends are like very, very lazy. Yesterday I had a very hard time because I couldn't get things done the way I wished I could because it was Sunday and I was in a lazy mood. So what I did was I listened to a lot of songs after a very long time. I used my headphone, which I rarely do, because the thing is, once I use it, I can't just get away with it all the time. I just keep it, and once you start listening to songs, you know how it is, right? So I thought I'll just bring you outside because what day it is? It's a rainy day here. It's supposed to be so for the next 2 days. And that's how it is. Now after this I'm going to take you inside and we will do some lecture. Okay? I hope you guys have a productive day. It's Monday. And after a lazy weekend, whatever you did, even if it's idling or thinking or planning for what you have to do after this in the weekdays, that is, still Monday is a very, very special day because you get to start it at level 1, right? That's how it is. Everybody has something to do in life. There is something to do, and for that there is a beginning, right? And that beginning starts in India. It begins on Monday, and in some other places it begins on probably some other days, but here it begins on Monday. So that's how important this day is. Let me take you inside. Outside it's raining, and that's all. Kind of it looks like it's evening 6 o'clock or morning 6 o'clock. As of now the time is 9:30, but it doesn't look like that. So I got you inside and let me talk to you from inside. Okay. I'm sorry about the lighting. Today it is a dull day, as I said. There's no sun. And if the power goes, then again we may have to go outside. Okay, it doesn't work without power. Right? So I spoke to you as the last time about giving yourself a push, and I hope it is working for you. It's all very important in life. You will realize at some point of time, no matter in what condition you are, you have to push yourself to keep going. That is something I would like to stress on. And these are little things which I do in my own life, in my personal life, how I carry on in life and how I have been doing all through. Okay, so when I was small, I read so many stories, and I love reading stories because particularly so if it has a moral. When you're small, you have moral stories which are very short. And why do you think you read those stories? Because it has got some lesson, and at some point of time in your life you come across situations that relates with those instances, and if you know the story and if you have the lessons ready, you can just revert back to that and realize that this is how that story has shaped up, and that is a situation that you are passing through in your life. That's how valuable stories are in your life. So never take a story for granted. Of course, our life is a story. If you think back from the beginning of your life, it is a beautiful story, and maybe it is not beautiful as of now, or maybe it doesn't look so beautiful at various phases of your life, but it is a story. So that's the reason they say that we have the freedom to change the endings of your story. If you think that your story is not the way it is, not something that you would like to read, that means there is something that you still can change about it, and we can do that. But for somebody else, your life is a story. So if you look back, it seems like that. You just sit back and look back from the time you were born and how the time has passed and where it has brought you today. For me, it looks like a story. And of course, it is a story because if you listen to somebody else's life, it seems like it is a different story for them. It is not the same. And what has changed? What is different from your story and somebody else's life? Though that is even a story. What is different about that? The difference is that the situations that they have faced in their life is totally different from yours. And particularly so, the choices they have made and the way they have faced those challenges of life is different from yours. That's what makes it a different story. Right, so coming back to the point, we all have the right to change our stories and the endings if it is not the way you like it. If you think you are capable of doing that, you can always change it. But it's important that we just take it like a story. It's all life is a story, and so many things in life happens so that there are more chapters in your story. There are a lot of chapters. It's not a very small story, it's a long story from the beginning towards the end. That's how it goes. So no matter which kind of living conditions you come from, I believe that we all have stories. We all have stories, and whether you are educated, whether you are less educated, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you are middle class family or whatever it is, we all have stories. And what makes it different is the situations that we have faced and how we have come out of it, and how the choices that we made, and what did we let go and what we just held on to. That is also a big difference. That's how life is. It's nothing but stories. So I basically like listening to stories, and that's the reason I read. I am interested in reading autobiographies and about people, how they have come through. And I've read so many life stories and instances which made me think that, they all have different lives and it was not easy for them. It was not easy. They say that easy lives don't make a good story. You need to go through difficult times so that your story is different. So that there is a lesson in your story. If it is very easy, there are no lessons. Of course, that is true. That is true about life, right? So let me ask you one question. Can you remember a story which you have read or which you just maybe when you're browsing through Google, you come across a story. Yesterday I came across a story where Gautam Buddha, it seems he had a brother called Anand, and he didn't have a shelter at all, and at some point of time a prostitute said that she offered him a shelter to live. And he went to Gautam Buddha and asked, is it okay for me? I'm a monk, and is it okay for a monk to stay with a prostitute? Reading the title, I was so interested to know about the story because I realized that there is going to be a lesson in that. So I just read that story, and it's pretty nice. You should read it. It's a monk and a prostitute. It's a good story. So these stories tell you a lot about life. That's the reason I like stories. And when you go through life, it's much easier for you to face situations because you know that you read this somewhere before. You come across this. Somebody had passed through the same situations in life, and this is how they faced it. That kind of feeling comes. And that is much better, So read something every day, and if you cannot read something every day, at least whenever you come across something, you have to just read it and keep it in your mind, because today or tomorrow or the next day, these instances are going to repeat in your life, and then it will be pretty easy for you to recognize that this is how that happened in their life. It's much easier. So that's how it is in life. Okay, it's a beautiful day. Mondays are very special for me because, as I told you, it's weekends are, I don't know. Yesterday I was very lazy, and not lazy like idling, but the thing is that I could not put my mind on anything serious, or I couldn't plan anything which I wanted to do, because I was like, let me just sit there, listen to some music. And when you put these earplugs, the problem is that you're listening to some good music. It does good to you, because people who are connected with music, they very well know that how the music works for your brain. Do you know that how your brain and music is connected, how it affects your brain? It does a lot, in a very, very distinct way. Try using a earphone and try playing your favorite music. You will realize what happens in your brain. Actually, your brain works much better. It is much better than watching a television. Listening to one or two songs with the earplugs. So many people will say it gives them headache. Of course, I realize that. That's all different issues. But if you are lucky and if you still can listen to music, it works to bring you back to the mode that you like to be. It activates your brain if you can. Yeah, it keeps it in the level 1. We all want to have a brain that works according to our way. We want it to work our brain to work in a very particular way, and as and when we wish for it, right? So Mondays, as we wake up, we want it to be very sharp and clear, and to be able to make the most of the day, and that's what we want. So for that, your brain is very important, and it has to be very clear and active all the time. So for that, we need supplements. Some people take supplements, but instead of that, if you can listen to some good music, I tell you, it works your brain. It actually clears your brain. It's like a thorough cleaning of a carpet that is very dirty. So try that. Yesterday, that is what happened with me. I played one song and it just went on, and so many hours I just listened to some songs and I could not just stop it. Went on and on and on. So that's how for me weekend went on, and today, so because of that reason, Monday is different, and I like the Monday to be very productive too, and my brain is clear as of now. And after this, I'm going to start the day. So I hope your Monday is good as well. Read something every day, wherever you find, if it is a story or if it's somebody else sharing a story. It's as important as you are reading it. In fact, they're making it easier for you. They are telling you, and you don't have to read it yourself. There somewhere in between I could share a question, though I have not come prepared with a question, but I hope that there was a question somewhere. Okay, and so please do read something every day and start the day. Let me know how you feel about Mondays after weekends. Though there might be some laziness at some point, you don't want to. If you're having a very good time during your weekends, it's obvious that you don't like to you don't like to go back to work, you don't like to prepare yourself in a way for the Mondays, but still, I mean, for workaholic people, it's totally different. We all wait for Mondays. We equally like to balance between the idling time, and we also like to balance between the time that we are able to contribute. It works equally for us. So for me, it is very important that you find some time of, I will not use the word idling, leisure, that is. Okay, so leisure is also meant to make you more active, so that you are able to contribute more into this side. It's not that you just sit back and just be lazy and that you just be like that. It's not that reason. You have leisure time only to make you work more, so that you are able to contribute more in your productive days. So we equally look forward to leisure time as well as active time. So Mondays are very important, and how do you spend your Mondays? You just tell me what does it feel like, and if you're feeling really down or lazy, how do you get over that? Okay, that's the question for today, and that's about it. I'll be back tomorrow with something. Every day, honestly, I think that I'm going to note down something so that it is easy. I can stay in the point, but it doesn't seem like happening at all. It just happens random, and I somehow like that, to talk randomly, not having prepared for this. But still, I believe that there has to be some bullet points which I can touch. So this is more meaningful than the blah 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 which happens, right? Oh, I forgot to tell that I have come up with a Hindi story which I'm writing now, and yesterday night I just came up with the title. It's called as Khushi, happiness, and I will be working on that as well, and probably in next 2 days I'll be able to share it. Okay, that's how you people have a very, very good time, and if each one of us is productive in the maximum levels, imagine how the nation is going to shape up. How if each of us were in that mode all the time. So for that, it is also important that we enjoy our leisure time. That is, a weekend, we find some ways of relaxing, so that our weekdays are productive and we stay active all the way. It's important. Okay. Together we can do it. That's how I always believe. I like people who work while you work and play while you play, that kind of attitude. That's really good. It's not like you have to be serious all the time, you have no fun. That is no good at all. You need to have time for both, a time to play, a time to sleep, a time to relax, a time to love, a time to read, a time to smile, a time to do everything that you like, whatever it is. I have no idea. We have a list of things that we would like to experience in life, right? So take care. Have a good weekend. I'll be back tomorrow.